Hey guys, today we are going to read and give reaction to the column of Mr. Osama Rizvi in Daily Times. So let's start this. The transition to the new year of the 2021 was marked universally with a strong sense of hope that the world will return back to normal or at least start to. With new strains of virus spreading all over the world and another view of lockdowns and restrictions, at least the first few months of 2021 looks difficult. Vaccine rollout may ease things, however, this is also expected to face logistic issue as many countries are already managing a shortage of vaccines that may get worse. But the show must go on, and it has been. Businesses have adapted, and the global economic activity, albeit low, hasn't stopped. In this year, following are some of the trends that will continue to shape the world of business all around the world. In what can be termed as a post-pandemic world, parenthesis, trying an analogy to pre and post-war, parenthesis close. Governments and businesses have suffered greatly. Only in the US, more than 340 companies went bankrupt, while others globally confront financial constraints and myriad other issues rising from it. Countries around the world find themselves atop a huge pile of debt as they try to keep businesses and households alive. Under these circumstances, one of the trends to keep an eye on and which will define the trajectory of businesses is consumer confidence. Its restoration mainly. It feeds into many aspects such as resumption in mobility, parenthesis, that has been drastically such as resumption in mobility parenthesis open that has been drastically affected parenthesis closed and consumption of services and goods. As of now, only a third have resumed outdoor activities in the US as compared to 81% in China and 49% in France. China is an outlier, but cases are rising there as well. In a recent launch report, McKinsey outlines few other interesting trends. In a normal world, people travel for business and for pleasure both. However, as virtual presence and participation becomes a norm, parentheses open with the help of Zoom, Teams, and others, parentheses closed, people might opt to travel less, especially for business going forward. For instance, business travel contributed about $1.4 trillion dollars to the GDP in 2018. That may never reach the same level, and we may experience permanent changes in this pattern. Jet fuel demand is already frustratingly low, and jet fuel demand is already frustratingly low, and international agents and International Energy Agency (IEA) has said that the demand recovery will be slower in 2021, attributing 80% of reduction in fuel demand compared to 2019 levels to lower consumption of jet fuel. A great increase in technology and its use would also be observed. Senior executives have said that certain business operations were 20 to 25% faster while adapting to new technologies in the wake of COVID-19. Another business trend that we may have missed is the show of resilience, or rather anti-fragility, by various institutions and individuals. Telehealth is performing great. For instance, the McKinsey's report mentions that as compared to 2000 telehealth appointments in whole of 2019, July 2020 had 5,000 per week. Vaccines used to take decades, but now we churned out few successful ones in less than a year. Also, more than 170 vaccines are in trial. Biorevolution, parenthesis open, a term used by McKinsey Global Institute, parenthesis close. Biorevolution is proposing innovative solutions to global issues such as pandemics, climate change, etc. Biorevolution is a concept that almost 45% of world's disease can be used to tackle using today's capabilities. It involves biomolecule systems, machines, and computing. Gene editing, cellular therapies, and vaccines for non communicable diseases are all part of this. In the US alone, in quarter 3 of 2020, more than 1.5 million new businesses registered, double that of 2019. Venture capitalist activity slid only minimally during first half of 2020, France has 84,000 new businesses in October 2020, 20% increase as compared to last year 2019. 30% increase in UK as compared to 2019, highest since 2012. A great increase in technology and its use would also be observed. Senior executives have said that certain business operations were 20 to 25% faster while adopting to new technologies in the wake of COVID 19. Productivity in the US increased by 10.6% in quarter two, highest since 1965. Companies have seen the tail risk, making them better able to handle such future outbreaks. Consumer behaviors will also be significantly changed. In the US, e-commerce increased in the first half of 2020 equals to its increase in the past decade. However, these positive changes are less pronounced in the developing or underdeveloped world, with the financial response to COVID 19 being three times that of a financial crisis. One can imagine the extent and magnitude of problems, particularly financial, in poor developing countries. Even in the developed world, debt levels have reached record highs. Canada is expecting a deficit of $353 billion. China's $500 billion stimulus has made its financial deficit ration to reach 3.6% of GDP. One of the most important factors in the world of business and otherwise would be to keep an eye for the inflation or other tail risks such as systematic risk from accumulation of debt. Has the post-pandemic world begun? Maybe or maybe not. However, we are moving towards it gradually and slowly with a few setbacks and hiccups. We will reach there. This is an interesting article and analysis by मिस्टर ओसामा रिजवी और इसके बारे में मेरी राय यह है कि एक होलिस्टिक पिक्चर प्रेजेंट की है ओसामा रिजवी साहब ने कि पोस्ट पेंडेमिक वर्ल्ड जो हमने 2020 सारा एक्सपीरियंस किया और 2021 का अभी तक जो हम टाइम देख रहे हैं कोविड 19 की स्ट्रेन्स यूके में और केसेस कम गए दोबारा इंक्रीज़ हुआ तो उससे हमारे फाइनेंशियल हेल्थ कंपनीज़ की मुल्कों की उस पर क्या इफ़ेक्ट होगा। तो कुछ ट्रेंड्स के बारे में बता रहे हैं जैसे कि ई कॉमर्स एक बहुत ही हमने बूम देखा ई कॉमर्स में होम डिलीवरी सर्विसेज में नए बिजनेस रजिस्टर्ड हुए। नो डाउट कि कुछ बिजनेस इफेक्ट हुए लेकिन बहुत से ममालिक में नए बिजनेस रजिस्टर्ड हुए जो कि पर्टिकुलरली टारगेटेड थे इन कोविड-19 की सिचुएशंस को डील करने के लिए और कंपनीज ने अपना पैटर्न बदला। वर्क फ्रॉम होम एक नॉर्म बन गया जिसके तहत अब कंपनीज इफ़ेक्टिवली काम कर रही हैं। यूएस में वर्क एफिशिएंसी बढ़ी, लोग एक कंफर्ट जोन में काम करते हैं घर में जिस तरह होता है। तो ये सारी चीज़ें हैं। ऑयल के हवाले से इनका एनालिसिस था कि जेट फ्यूल की डिमांड कम हुई, ऑब्वियसली ट्रांसपोर्ट बाय एयर रिड्यूस हुआ तो उससे फ़र्क पड़ा चीज़ों पे और एज पर दिस एनालिसिस इट विल टेक लॉट मोर देन अ ईयर टू रिकवर but we will reach there with some changes. We have to adjust, we have to adopt, and we will reach there. So that's all from my side. I'm hopeful कि ये सिलसिला जो मैंने स्टार्ट किया है ये आपको पसंद आ रहा होगा। अगर अच्छा लग रहा है तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें। थैंक यू।